and welcome to my first impressions of the Truthear Hexa. So for the overall tonality, it's very balanced and a very natural sound signature. So it cannot be classified as U-shape or V-shape or L-shape. It's one of the very few IEMs that are unique sounding in my collection. It honestly reminds me of how Audiosense tunes their IEMs in terms of overall sound and presentation. All is natural sounding while being very engaging. So it has some moments of peaks in the treble that might rattle some of those sensitive to it, but not very apparent nor lasting in every listening session. So for this release, Truthear yet picks up another win in their second release. So Zero, which is pictured here, I have by the side. So Zero is an innovation in crossover technology with its booming dynamic driver tuning. So if you're familiar with it, so you can consult my first impressions of the Truthear Zero along with its comparison with the other Zeros in this channel or in my YouTube channel. So while Hexa, pictured right over here, is a masterclass in tuning with obvious knowledge in how to incorporate each driver in a hybrid setup. So for the bass, all frequencies in the Hexa are presented in a very balanced way, including the bass. It's very sub-bass focused, which has a yin-yang relationship with its brother Zero in terms of bass presentation. So Zero has a very powerful yet clean mid-bass punch that is unseen in its peers, while Hexa has rumbled for days yet is very low-key in its presentation to the listener. Even in its balanced punch accompanied by very fast attack and decay, Hexa never fails to give authority in its bass hits and lower register instruments such as the bass guitar. So Hexa's bass is meaty yet does not overload the listener with richness. It's just like the perfect porridge in the tale of the three bear brothers. So every ingredient and aspect of it is just ample enough for the listener to be satisfied. So Hexa also handles EQing very well, so bass heads can still get their kick out of it. For the mid-range, so this is the true star and foundation of Hexa's overall sound. So whatever they did with the 3 BA drivers is nothing short of excellence. The mid-range presentation in the Hexa remains to be both clean and engaging at the same time, that of which Harman-tuned IEM sometimes misses to address. So Hexa's mid-range is very natural and clear sounding, with every instrument even given equal attention and power. It reminds me of how the BQ EYZ Topaz puts mid-range at its top priority with how rich and ever-flowing it is. But Topaz still reigns at the top in terms of how layered and powerful it is. But Hexa doesn't throw any punches either, so it still stands proud as a second placer in the below $100 range in terms of mid-range. Layering of instruments and vocals in the Hexa are immaculate and breathtaking. Both male and female vocals are rendered very nicely without veiling them, so the vocals aren't pushed back to the background. So they also have a very nice cohesion with the rest of the instruments in the mix. So it is to be wished that IEMs starting from this point forward will follow the trend of having their mid-range as natural and as engaging as the Hexa. So I've noticed that some IEMs that are aspiring to be very natural sometimes misses the point of the mid-range being as natural either. So it usually leans to the more light sounding with no definite note weight. So Hexa isn't that. So for those who are finding the Harman tuning very boring, so Hexa won't disappoint you. For the treble, so it clearly follows the lead that the mid-range is asserting with its natural sound. Transition from upper mid-range to treble frequencies is as smooth as butter. No irregularities nor annoyances are heard. It's shimmer focused rather than body, which brings an extra layer of clarity to how the mid-range is presented. So slight problem with this philosophy is that sometimes cymbals and other extremely high-pitched instruments can have their moments of peakiness and peculiarity, which can distract, but not that much, from the natural sounding nature of the Hexa. And also, Hexa absolutely ticks my want for an extended treble. has ample air that really complements of how natural sounding everything is, especially in laid back tracks. So for the imaging and soundstage, the Hexa follows with how natural everything, or the soundstage follows how natural the Hexa is sound-wise. Imaging is immaculate as everything in every song can be clearly picked out and noticed at a moment's time. Layering is very excellent too, in conjunction with how good the mid-range is. Soundstage is quite a unique experience. It is a very intimate one, but has width for miles that compensates for the intimate presentation. It gives both instruments and vocals more than enough space to shine in their own respective place. So that's my first impression of the Truthear Hexa. I hope you liked it, and stay tuned for my full review of this bad boy. So I really, if you have the budget and you're scoundering around the below $100 range, so the Truthear Hexa is an absolute recommend for me. So yeah, that's all. So Goji out.